The Necronomicon, or the Kitab al-Azif, is an evil tome which originates in the H.P Lovecraft universe, or the Cthulhu mythos. But who wrote the Necronomicon? Abdul Alhazred, or the Mad Arab, is the writer of the Necronomicon, the creator in the H.P Lovecraft mythos. The Mad Arab, or Abdul Alhazred, is a recurring character which features quite prominently in Lovecraft's work. He is cited numerous times as the author of the fabled evil text, the Necronomicon, which of course is the occult book containing all knowledge from beyond the earth and the realms of the outer gods. Now, interestingly enough, Abdul Alhazred is not actually an Arabic name. To make it an Arabic name or form it to a more proper Arabic would be Abdul Hazred. Although these are still anomalous, as Hazred is not one of the 99 names of God in Arabic texts. Now, it could be that Lovecraft chose to shorten the name Abdullah al-Hazred, which is found in Arabic texts. However, the terminology Mad Arab is of course used in reference to Abdul Alhazred, which is always seemingly a title, similar to a prince or a king or sir or sultan, rather than a description of who Abdul Alhazred actually is. Now, in H.P. Lovecraft, The History of the Necronomicon, it is written a mad poet of Sinai in Yemen, who is said to have flourished during the period of the Umayyad Caliphs circa 700 AD. He visited the ruins of Babylon and the subterranean secrets of Memphis, and spent 10 years alone in the great southern desert of Arabia, the Roba el-Kalaya, or empty space of the ancients, and Dana, or crimson desert of the modern Arabs, which is held to be inhabited by protective evil spirits and monsters of death. Of this desert, many strange and unbelievable marvels are told by those who pretend to have penetrated it. In his last years, Alhazred dwelt in Damascus. Now, it is said in 730, while still living in Damascus, Alhazred supposedly authored in Arabic a book of ultimate evil, Al-Azif, which would later become known and widely popularized as the Necronomicon. Now, in authoring the Al-Azif, or the Necronomicon, this is how Abdul Alhazred met his end. Anyone who has had any dealings with the Necronomicon at all, either the original or transcribed and copies, always come to a very unpleasant end. In the history of the Necronomicon, H.P. Lovecraft states the following: of his final death or disappearance, 738 AD, many terrible and conflicting things are told. He is said by Ibn Khaldun, the 13th century biographer, to have been seized by an invisible monster in broad daylight and devoured horribly before a large number of fright-frozen witnesses. Of his madness, many things are told. He claimed to have seen fabulous Irem, or city of pillars, and to have found beneath the ruins of a certain nameless desert town the shocking annals and secrets of a race older than mankind. He was only an indifferent Muslim, worshipping unknown entities whom he called Yog-Sothoth and Cthulhu. Now, in terms of the monster that could have devoured Abdul Alhazred in broad daylight, an invisible one, it is my thought that this is highly likely to have been a dimensional shambler. For another video on the dimensional shambler, please see the link above. Now, August Derleth, an additional author to the H.P Lovecraft mythos, would later make some alterations to the biography of Abdul Alhazred. One change was changing the date of Alhazred's death to 731 AD rather than 738. Derleth further wrote on the final fate of Alhazred in his story, The Keeper of the Key, which is first published in May 1951. In this story, Dr. Laban Shrewsbury, a recurring Derleth character, and his assistant Naylan Colum discover Alhazred's burial site. More specifically, they were heading a caravan from Salalah, Oman, and crossed the border into Yemen. It would be there that Shrewsbury and Colum found the unexplored desert area that the Necronomicon names as Roba el Elayla, or Roba el Khalila, perhaps a form of Rabia al-Aliyah, which again is not proper Arabic but could be an allusion to the Sufi Saint Rabia. And yes, these words are very difficult to pronounce. Now it may be a reference to the Rub al-Khali or the Empty Quarter, which is the vast southern portion of the Arabian desert. At the centre of this particular area, it would be here that they discovered the nameless city, the domain of Hasta. For a video on Hasta, please find the link above. Now Shrewsbury, as an old agent of Hasta and devoted enemy of his half-brother Cthulhu, would cross its gates in search of Alhazred's burial site. He indeed found the gate of Alhazred's burial site and learned of his fate. Alhazred was kidnapped in Damascus and brought to the nameless city. It would be here where he had earlier studied and learned some of the Necronomicon secrets. As punishment for his betrayal of their secrets, Alhazred was tortured. Then they would blind him and sever his tongue. And finally, once all is said and done, they executed him. The entrance to the chamber warned against disturbing his final resting place, but Shrewsbury proceeded in, entering the chamber and opening the sarcophagus. This potentially blinded by his arrogance as a devotee of Hasta. Though only rugs, bones, and dust remained of Alhazred, the sarcophagus also contained an incomplete, personal copy of the Necronomicon, written in the Arabic alphabet. Then Shrewsbury used the necromancy to recall Alhazred's spirit and ordered it to draw a map of the world as he knew it. After obtaining the map, which revealed the location of Urlier and other secret places, Shrewsbury would finally let Alhazred return to his eternal rest. Now, from August Derleth to H.P Lovecraft, personally, I much prefer H.P Lovecraft's iteration of Alhazred's death. To think that a dimensional shambler simply popped up and appeared and devoured Alhazred in front of everyone is fascinating. It pangs on the horror of the unknown, of things watching us from another realm, just moments away from unleashing evil on the whole world. Now, although August Derleth sort of expands on that, you could say that Alhazred was kidnapped rather than being devoured, and then later tortured, so on and so forth. But I do like the fact that these little moments of cosmic horror just seeping through into our world, just so they can claim their dominion over us, is the true feeling of terror. It's that true feeling of just knowing that you are unequivocally screwed. Nothing you can do. Everything is futile. Nothing will ever match their pure power. Now, interestingly enough, Abdul Alhazred was actually a pseudonym used by Lovecraft himself from when he was a child. Now, we don't exactly know where he got it from. It's thought that he picked it up when he read 1001 Nights or from a lawyer friend of his family. But yes, it is actually a pseudonym that Lovecraft used himself. So who wrote the Necronomicon, the evil tome of the dead? It was Abdul Alhazred. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like. Please do share it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do leave your thoughts down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much. Take care.